The name of the movie is Cortez. Gina saw this one, right?
I watched it yesterday. We get a lot of screeners for Sundance, and a lot of them you do this with.
Slam dancing.
Yeah, Slam Dance, Sundance, all
Yeah.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 5 minutes in and you go, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to go watch another one.
Or you skim through it.
Or you skim through it.
Because there's so many.
I was totally sucked into Cortez.
Now, I asked Gina, I said, so I thought this was Cortez, Colorado. But no, it's not, right?
It's the fictional town of Cortez, New Mexico, which is kind of like Taos, New Mexico.
Kind of a hippie place.
Yeah, it's a little hippie. Arron, you want to speak to that? You're the Taoseño.
Well, I grew up there. It's definitely like it's definitely got three cultures working. You have the Hispanic culture, the Pueblo Indian culture, and then the white folks who came a little later.
Way later, yeah.
Yeah. But so our story, we shot it in Taos mainly because we could get a lot of stuff for free. That was the first reason. But the second reason is because it's kind of like a place where a lot of people that are spiritual seekers, for lack of a better term, end up. So to say it's a hippie place is it kind of is. You get a lot of those kind of searchers there, and our film is about a searcher. So
we should introduce who we're talking to.
We got the filmmaker here. Cheryl Nichols is the director, the screenwriter, and also acts in the movie. Arron Shiver is acts in the movie. And did you work on the screenplay for this as well?
I did do a little work on it, yeah.
We wrote it together.
Well, that was one of my questions for you. Did you write it for knowing you two would be starring in it? Was that the whole
yeah,
point of
I
it?
think we originally wrote it because we wanted to work together, and so we were looking for a play originally, and we couldn't find anything that we wanted to do, so we decided to write something, and then it turned into a movie, and then here we are.
Yeah, and people always encourage you to write parts for yourself if you're an actor. So definitely we wanted to write parts for ourselves. It kind of took on its own thing after a while. But
and then what about Cassidy Freeman? What about her?
Cassidy, I expected her to come in here with a lollipop in her mouth is what I was expecting.
Yeah, I got to play the part of Rosie, and I got to produce this film for my dear friends. And one of the things that I love about making films like this is getting to work with people that you love and not having to wait for a studio or a big director, whoever, to give you permission to make what you want to make. And so I was eager to do that with these kids.
There's some heavy themes in this, but also some comic relief with you in particular, which I enjoy. Actually, you all get your own funny moments.
There's a few funnies.
We have our moments.
As Cheryl says, it is a comedy.
Now, you're a musician in it, Arron.
Yes.
I get the sense pretty successful, but on the way down.
Yes.
Musician.
Yeah.
There's music playing throughout, just sort of light guitar.
Yes.
Kind of mood music. Who did that?
So that is a gentleman by the name of Sean Watkins, who is one of the best guitar players in the world.
Amazing.
He was in a band called Nickel Creek.
That's what I thought.
With his sister Sarah Watkins and
Chris Thiele.
And Chris Thiele, who's the world's best mandolin player, who now hosts
Prairie Home
Companion.
So cool.
And so Sean is just a fabulous bluegrass player and just all-around great musician and great, wonderful human being. And he is a friend of Cheryl's, and we originally got him to write a song for us, just a song with lyrics. It's a beautiful song that appears briefly with me singing it at the beginning of the film. But then we asked him to do the score. He'd never done a score before. This is his first score. And just thinking about his score gives me goosebumps still.
It's
so I know it's
perfect.
doing its job.
It's understated, but it's always kind of there. It just it does a great job setting.
And he plays all the instruments, and I sat with him when he was doing all of that stuff. It was really cool.
We're very lucky to have him. He in fact is playing some gig around Park City sometime in the next few days. I wish I knew more about it.
Maybe I don't know.
Or maybe not.
He's going to be here.
All right,
well,
anyway.
Gina, you say there are some big themes examined in this movie, Cortez. I'd like to know what some of those are.
Well, let's let them explain.
Oh boy.
Well, there's a part where Jesse says to his son, you go around kicking people for your whole life and you turn around and you realize you got no one left to kick. So the way we kind of talk about it is that Cortez is about a guy, he has a charmed life, and he realizes at some point that the way he's lived his life has hurt other people, and he's got to kind of deal with the way that he's stepped on other people in order to get
Yeah, I like to think of it as a coming of age story for a 39-year-old dude. Basically.
One of the themes that really got me when I first heard it read out loud at their house was the idea of second chances too, and that we can sometimes reflect on our life and see, if things had gone a different way. And I sort of feel like Jesse and Anne have this opportunity to have a second chance at a missed opportunity. And the question is, do you take it? Or is life the way it is for a reason?
Well, and what you're just saying, you take that right up to the last second of the movie.
That's right.
The very last scene is dealing with, I hesitate to say it, but it's Soprano-esque in its...
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you. We'll take it. Well, and sort of that's the thing, right? And it's part of the reason it's called Cortez. It's sort of like the conquest of the ego, the self-searching, and then what happens when you find yourself, or what happens when you find that you have this other life that you didn't realize. He finds that he has a child in the movie. Not to give any too much away.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know. It's
I'm
not
just
like,
kidding.
wow, it's a kid, but like. It's, but he finds out he has a kid that he didn't know he had. So he's sort of discovered this life he didn't know that he could have had. And he's realizing that he wasn't the man he could have been had he known that he had a child, and he could have been a father. He could have been a better man.
But you see all sides of him. You see the charming side.
Hell yeah.
But then you see...
I'm looking.
Which is why your character, Anne, you kind of go, well, I wonder why that didn't work out. And then there's the dinner scene, and you go, yeah, I kind of get why this didn't work out.
Yeah,
right.
I mean...
But then it comes back around again.
Yeah,
so.
and in so many ways, like, people have all kinds of reactions, but in so many ways, like, people talk about Jesse as being unlikable or whatever.
He's not unlikable.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
And I think part of that is the point, because the idea is that he's so self-involved, and then so that we can have that switch, when he sees himself
It
in
works.
another. Yeah,
It works.
Yeah, it's kind of the point.
That dinner scene that you mentioned, by the way, is one of the things that I'm most proud of about this movie, and just how we were able to create a film surrounded by such a big, heavy, long scene that we shot for days.
Yeah.
And the tenacity of that, it speaks to like where we all come from, which is theater.
You you said that you got so much stuff for free by doing it.
He was partially joking.
in Taos, but how is that you?
Well, it's our hometown. We have this wonderful producer, Johnny Long, who was kind of our Taos liaison and our Taos connection. He got us a deal to shoot at the Pueblo, for instance, or Pueblo land, not exactly at the Pueblo.
That's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
It was hard to do. He had to
cool.
chase the war chief around for a good month to finally get. And we worked out a deal with them. They didn't charge us that much money, but little things like that. Like Johnny went and joined the Eagles Club, and then paid his dues, and then and then we ended up shooting at the Eagles bar. That was the main bar scenes. So things like that, where you have these small town connections that just like you cannot buy those, and they're worth their weight in gold.
In a way, you kind of reconnected to your community when we were doing that stuff, because like Johnny had to join the Eagles Club, so we got to go in there and you got to experience a different part of Taos, which was kind
I
of
never
cool.
went to the Eagles Club growing
Yeah.
up in Taos.
Why would you?
There's
Yeah,
also
exactly.
a huge community of television and filmmakers in New Mexico in general. A lot of stuff shoots in Santa Fe. Longmire, which is the show that I'm on, shoots in Santa Fe, and so we got to have connections with those people too, even with props people. Being able for me to call to friends and be like, "Do you guys have X, Y, or Z?" And
Well,
they're happy to help out where they can.
Now, Arron and Cassidy are on Longmire. Any other members of the cast or crew in Longmire work on this?
It's kind of nuts, actually.
Yeah.
We have such a Longmire
Are
connection.
there other Longmire?
John Bishop.
Oh,
John
right,
Bishop,
John
he
Bishop
plays
is in the
a-
movie.
he
He
has
plays
a
the
moment.
manager in the beginning of the movie. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that might be it, though. Clark
My
had
brother
he
Clark,
did a
yeah.
little thingy.
Well, that's kind of cool, though, that you just kind of be able to call upon those people to come. Hey, can you come over and shoot a scene or two? Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The
it's
woman who
super
does
cool.
my hair and makeup on Longmire came and did the whole cast for the movie.
That's right. Colette did.
Colette, yeah.
It's called Cortez. It's part of the Slam Dance Film Festival this year. And then I would assume you're going to be able to see it elsewhere after that.
Ooh, I hope so.
From your mouth.
For sure.
I
For
think
sure.
That there's
distributors'
rumor that
ears.
there's going to be some sort of Los Angeles screening.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have another festival that we can't talk about yet, but yeah, there'll be other places.
Well, if my vote counted, you would have it. 'Cause
You know what?
I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank
we'll
you
take
so
it to
much.
the
Really,
bank.
really
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Well,
Thank you very
and,
much.
And tell Katie Sackhoff we said hey.
I will.
We'll all tell her at the
I'm
same
going to call her
time.
right now.
Yeah.
Katie
You want us-
loves
we'll tweet
Cortez,
it.
by the way.
Yeah.
She
loves
does,
it.
yeah. She came
a
to
big
our
fan.
first Friends and Family screening, and she loved it.
Cool.
It's Cheryl Nichols, Arron Shiver, and Cassidy Freeman. The movie is Cortez. Look for it. There are some screenings at Slam Dance, and then it's probably going to be around, so look for it. Thanks, you guys.
Cortez,
Thank
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.